Hello and welcome to Sunrider Academy. I am RMP792, and is it just me, or does hello and welcome to Sunrider Academy sound like something a principal should be saying on the first day of school? Regardless, anyone who has been following my channel for a while will know that I am a big fan of Sunrider, and yeah, I follow the developers on Twitter, so I knew this game was coming, though still kind of scratching my head about it just a little bit, but okay. As you will have seen from the warning at the beginning, this is the uncensored version. Yeah, see, down here. Which, I definitely installed the patch properly this time, I promise. Unlike the last time I tried to install a Loving Space decensoring patch. But, as a result of that, there is something I need to apologise for immediately. There are probably going to be videos in this series that I will have to flag as for adults only. That means you will actually have to have a registered YouTube account or a Google Plus account that tells Google you are over 18. For the record, this is not something I want to do, it's something I am legally obligated to do. I happen to disagree with this particular law, but you can't be choosy about which laws you obey. So, I will apologise for that straight off the bat, but frankly my choices were between the censored version or doing that, and frankly I'd prefer to present Loving Space's work as completely as I possibly can. Nominally, this is version 0.9, though the developers have stated that this version is as close to version 1.0 as we're going to get until, well, 1.0 technically comes out, which should be sometime today, supposedly. I'm recording this at about 8 o'clock in the morning, UK time, so I think it's just past midnight in the States. But I can never remember which side of the States that is. I think that's the far side on the West Coast, but I can't remember. So, anywho, okay, with all those announcements out the way, well, that one announcement mainly, let's begin Sunrider Academy. Incidentally, because this is still theoretically a beta version, I am going to be saving a lot, just in case. Captain Kyoto's shields gripped his armrest as the ancient Ruvian lord spoke. It is over for your pathetic people. Your kind shall be reformed to service us. I don't think so. Ha! What can your pathetic vessel do against the full might of the Holy Empire? Now, meet your fate! 4 more cruisers dropped from warp, joining the already sizable enemy fleet. Laser beams tore through the hull as the cruisers opened fire. Shields may have appeared confident earlier, but he knew he was running out of options. The commander nearly lost her balance in the carnage. She gripped the handrail while shouting that the core was about to go critical. He was getting tired of always hearing that. Couldn't she ever say something else? I'll give them props for getting a meta joke in the first 2 minutes. What else could he do? Fire the Vanguard cannon again? But he didn't have enough command points for that. The Seraphim's awakening had worn off, and would be missile massacred the following turn. Both quantum torpedoes had been shot down by flak, and the Paladin was already out. Mwahahahaha! Farewell, Captain. I will give them props for being this meta early on. Well done. I threw up my hands in exasperation. What a stupid game. Oh, you're playing that game again? Oh, this level's got to be bugged. There's seriously no way that they could have intended to have 4 cruisers show up on the 8th turn. Oh, maybe I should go to the developer's website and make a post about it. No! You've spent all of winter vacation doing nothing but playing games. But at this rate, you might end up like one of those unemployed people. Oh, thanks! Seriously, really appreciate that joke. This new term's going to start off tomorrow and you haven't even got your uniform out yet. What am I going to do with you, Kato? I crossed my arms. I wasn't about to get henpecked by my own sister. Work hard, play hard. That's what I always say. Oh, is that so? Then you are finally going to get a girlfriend this year. Girlfriend? You always play those dating games on the holo, don't you? Of course. Of course. Something like getting a girlfriend is easy. Uh-huh. Really now. Good luck then, Kato. And remember, if you flake out like you did last year, your little sister's going to be highly disappointed in you. That was only my second year. Everyone knows that real relationships don't start until the third year. Really? Really? Oh, whatever. Just try your best, okay? And remember, disappointed sister. And disappointed viewing audience. Murray left the room, grinning ear to ear. As soon as she left, I began to regret my words. Girlfriend, huh? I opened my closet and got my uniform out. Tomorrow, I would return to being a student at Sunrider Academy. Located at the heart of Sarah City, Sunrider Academy is an experimental educational facility which gathers the brightest young minds from across the planet. Just being accepted was considered a great achievement. Honestly, I was surprised I got accepted. Even if I was mostly average, well, I guess I do have one thing. Okay. Wealthy heir. Well, that's... yeah. Let's go with an intellectual. Which gives me an intelligence of 30... oh, low charisma. 0 stress, though. Decent money, low luck. No grades, no prestige. And 1 homework per week. Or 1 less homework per week. Nifty. Very charismatic. Oh, I like the fact that those change. Good karma. Okay, so if I'm well-rounded, I have a puppy on a... okay, that's kind of cute. I respect a game that can make me giggle in the first 7 minutes. Well done. Plus 10 prestige per month. I think I'm going to go with intellectual. You know, it means I've got slightly low charisma and fitness, but I'm sure I can deal with that later. I held up my uniform and put on my school supplies into my bag. That should do it. The story takes place on Sarah, an advanced world in the galaxy's neutral rim. Sarah has different orbit and revolution speed compared to our Earth, and thus has a unique calendar system. A day on Sarah lasts only 10 hours. To go into detail, every hour contains 100 minutes, and each minute contains 100 seconds. However, you need not remember this to play Sunrider Academy. Cater to perform 1 activity each hour. Further, we must sleep for 4 hours a day. Okay. The duration of a week, month, and year differ as well. Oh, bloody hell. Each week on Sarah contains 10 days. The 5th, 9th, and 10th days are break days, and all other days are work days. A month contains 5 weeks, and there are 10 months in a year. Right. So if, presumably, we've got effectively a year to work with, then that means we get 10 days in a week, 500 days? That seems like a lot. Okay. Your holo contains essential information, including the calendar, and you could... sorry, I've got the hiccups. You can open your calendar to see special occasions and holidays. Managing your time efficiently is the key to success. 10th month to make it the most of your year. Have fun, do your best to impress your sister. Fair enough. The end of the year was still far away. Plenty of time to figure things out, I suppose. I took a shower and I got into bed. Despite my vacation ending, I felt optimistic about the coming year. Who knew what adventures... adventures? I've turned into Chekhov. Who knew what adventures awaited this year? My school life was about to begin. Because let's face it, this is basically Love in Space having fun and doing an AU fanfic. Which, for the record, I don't actually have a problem with. I mean, okay, yes, I'm quite appreciative they'd hurry up and finish, you know, the main Sunrider game, but they... I'm not even going to ask. Yeah, as I stated on my Twitter feed, I may well end up getting very, very British during some of these sequences. Yeah, if you're going to fit a polite coughing, don't mind me. Also, there's an achievement for flirting with your sister, which is kind of weird. Still shocked I've only got 4 of the main female cast in there. I'm sorry, where's Claude as the slightly creepily sexually obsessed school nurse? That just seems obvious to me. I woke up the next day to the sunshine. First day of school, huh? Well, I might as well try my best. After breakfast, I left the apartment and found Ava waiting outside. Yep. Ava looked reluctantly at me, as if I wasn't worthy of her gaze. It took long enough. Come on, let's go before we're late. Incidentally, I will try and use the same voice as I did in the main Sunrider Let's Play, but frankly, you're lucky if I can keep them consistent in one Let's Play, let alone in a completely different game, so... It's still an hour until class. Did you forget? I have to go to school early to deliver the opening ceremony speech. Of course I didn't forget. I'm just not a busybody like you. This is my childhood friend, Ava Crescentia. My favourite thing about her is her smile. Too bad in all my years of being a friendly neighbour, I've never actually seen it. What is there to say about her? She's a high-performing individual with a few empathy issues. She's way too critical of everything, and the only enjoyment she gets out of life seems to be mentally outmanoeuvring lesser minds. Namely myself. Idiot. See what I mean? Despite that, I, Kato Shields, have been her loyal friend since we were young enough to bathe together in the same tub. Not to confirm or deny that any such cliché event ever occurred in our lives. I would not want to suggest any kind of special relationship exists between us, because it clearly did not. We walked through the city on the way to class. Hey, Kato. Yeah? How does the duty of the student council is to the student body sound for an opener? What's up with the overly predictable statement? I'm sure it's fine. The old geezers in charge of our school don't want anything original in the speeches anyways. Every year it's the same thing. No one to worry about it. You're being lazy, and the new term hasn't even started yet. Look, Kato, every year the Student Council does nothing but fill out the same paperwork, approve the same events, and make the same speeches. This is our chance to bring change. We're members of the Sunrider Academy Student Council. We have to leave our marks on our school's history. And there she goes again. Whereas my life goal was merely to be a humble student, others are compelled to question the human condition. I think thoughts like, I must rise above the common rabble, and what will they remember of me when I'm gone, and what of my legacy? Often these thoughts lead individuals to join the student council and become campus leaders. And the next thing you know, they get enamored to such notions they decide to pursue careers in management or in politics. And before you know it, people call them stuff like president and chairman and captain, as if their names disappear and get replaced with titles. Well, let me just say that I have absolutely no desire for any of that. I have joined the Student Council, not out of any sense of civic duty or for any desire for prestige, but simply to lobby against our old-styled uniforms. Seriously, what vestige of the old imperial system forces us to wear these ridiculous things? Always too hot during summer and too cold during winter. I hear the school uniform on the other side of town upgraded to thermal weave uniforms 5 years ago. Some schools even permit hollow wear now. Clearly there must be some kind of pork preventing us from upgrading our uniforms. Perhaps one of the school officials is close friends with the manager of a wool farm. I walked to school, conjuring in my mind multiple disgusting conspiracies keeping us from the hollow wear uniforms. And before I knew it, we had arrived. Alright, well, just make sure you stand up straight behind me while I'm delivering the speech. No problem, I can manage that much. Ava eyed me. What? She inspected my uniform, obviously displeased. You should have ironed your uniform. And this is why we need hollow wear. Ugh. Ava begrudgingly grabbed onto my tie and straightened it. She dusted off my uniform and tried to smooth out the wrinkles. I can't believe you can call yourself Vice President looking like this. Excuse me, Prez, but this appearance is merely my strategy to appeal to the common student. Idiot. Well, this is the best I can do. Just stay out of the light, okay? Alright, alright. I stood behind Ava as she delivered the opening address, doing my absolute best not to yawn. Oh God, you had to use that word, didn't you? Sorry, yawning is very psychosomatic, and if I so much as... Seriously, I read that word and I start yawning. It's kind of ridiculous. Being in the front of the entire student body, I was suddenly filled with a sinking dread. I had left my fly unzipped. Nope. Ava would have zipped the damn thing up herself during the inspection if I'd forgotten such a pivotal detail. Hope we can all work together to create a better... But what if she forgot to check? She's a girl after all, so the experience of learning a fly unzip would be totally alien for her. but maybe I should check just in case. No. Ava said not to make a fool out of myself in front of the entire student body. The student council will always be there to listen. I nervously scratched my forehead. A long-winded speech. With that, on behalf of the entire faculty and staff, I welcome you to Sunrider Academy. The audience politely applauded. Whew, it's over at last. I withdrew with Ava, thoroughly relieved to be off the stage. As soon as the opening ceremony was over, it was time for our morning classes. Since Ava was a fourth year now, she went upstairs, while I was on the third floor with the rest of the third years. An old-looking teacher introduced himself as Mr. Gray and began our class. Oh, +1 intelligence, +1 stress. It's lunchtime. Where should I eat? Cafeteria's too boring. Let's go to the courtyard. Let's eat lunch there. Lunchtime. No stat changes. More intelligence, more stress. Now that classes were over, it was time for the student council's first meeting. Look here, Cato, this just won't do. What? Ava opened a file called Club Reports on her holo and flipped through page after page of forms. Some of these clubs haven't submitted dues or a membership report for years. Ugh, I knew the previous president was lazy, but I never imagined it could be this bad. I could feel my eyes glazing over as I looked through the paperwork. I threw my hands up. Is it really a big deal? As long as people are having fun, aren't the clubs fulfilling their purpose? Ava stared at me incredulously. We have to get the clubs into order before anything else. I'm appointing you as the club manager, Cato. Go to the problem clubs and get their issues resolved. Got it? Club manager? I got slapped with the title already. Oi, you can't just... Ava crossed her arms. Oi, you could help me fill out these equipment use forms. A terrifying stack of paperwork sat beside Ava. Okay, I'll go figure out what's wrong. Good. I looked through the club reports on my holo. It seemed like there were 3 problem clubs. The Kendo, the Science, and the Swim clubs. Looks like I've been managing the 3 of them. See the club report on your holo. Each club has 3 stats. Member count refers to, obviously. Readiness refers to the current ability of the club to perform activities, fair enough. And morale refers to the happiness of the club's members. Clubs require readiness to win competitions, bring prestige to school. While if gaining readiness drains morale, if the club's morale is too low, then performance will be negatively affected. Makes sense. Having more members multiplies the club's readiness, however chances to recruit new members do not come often. Okay, well, let's check out the Kendo Club first. Hello, Asaga. Is it my imagination, or does Asaga look older than she does in the main game? I don't know, she just... Okay, maybe I'm imagining it. I entered the Kendo dojo and saw a girl just about to leave. Hi, you in the Kendo Club? I'm the new club manager at the student council. Ah! She eyed me suspiciously, as if I was somehow already the bad guy. I'm here to talk about the dues for your club. The Imperial Tax Collector has arrived! She bolted. What the... While I was firmly opposed to the notion of running a random girl down, I instinctively gave chase. Hey, wait! She ran into the courtyard. Oh, for crying... I'm from the student council. Your club hasn't paid any dues for the last 3 years. La 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 la, don't know what you're talking about. She picked up a watering hose from the garden and pointed it at me. I'm firing my lasers! I narrowly left out of the way and took cover behind a tree. She laughed as she soaked the tree with water. That's improper use of school equipment. Fortunately, the water lost pressure and the stream limped into a trickle. Got her now. You've got a lot to answer for. Yeah! I marched towards her. She backed herself into a tree. I've got her now. Now, isn't it time you explained what happened to the dues? Not yet. Asaga gave the tree a kick. Fly, my children! I looked and saw a horde of pissed-off birds sitting on the branches. They all glared at me as if I'd just eaten their young. What the... Suddenly the world was enveloped in flapping wings and feathers as the birds attacked me. Ah! Killed by the birds. Bad ending. And so I, Cato Shields, became the first to fall in the line of duty. Whoever knew that being on the student council could be such a matter of life and death? Nah, are you alright? My senses returned to me. Maybe I overdid it a bit. A bit? Oh, you nearly turned me into bird food. Sorry. Oh. The girl picked a feather off my head, held it in front of me. It's Purdy! Pretty my ass. I crossed my arms. I'm Kato Shields from the Student Council. The President says that you've been behind on your dues. The dues, you ask? Let's see. Altogether, I think you owe the school 600 credits. 600 credits? You buy a nuclear warhead for that amount? No, you couldn't, you moron. What kind of universe would a weapon of mass destruction be that cheap? They really are going for the meta humour, aren't they? For the record, I like meta humour, so I'm totally okay with this. Well? Well, the truth is... The girl suddenly prostrated herself before me and held up a credit check. Sorry, I only offer 10 creds. 10? This isn't the due. Nope, it's a bribe, Mr. Manager. Oh. I'm sorry, what do you think this is? Ongus? You think you can just bribe your way through everything? I apologise. I sighed. So what happened to the Jews? I honestly don't know, Mr. Manager. You're the captain of the Kendo Club, aren't you? That I am, Mr. Manager. So isn't it your responsibility to gather the dues from the members and send it to the Student Council? That it is, Mr. Manager. But the truth is, people come and go so quickly and, well, asking for money up front makes the first years reluctant to join. Oh, I'm sorry, I have no idea whether we've even bothered to collect dues for the past 3 years. How can you even operate a club without dues? So I guess nothing's going to be resolved, huh? We're going to get disbanded, Mr. Manager. She eyed me with huge puppy eyes. Oh, whatever. I've been put in charge by the President to put the problem clubs back into order. So I guess I can manage the Kendo Club until you've paid off the back dues. Does this mean you're giving us another chance? I shrugged. That's what I'm here to do, I suppose. Alright! Don't worry about a thing, Mr. Manager. I'll put the Kendo Club back into working order in no time at all, you'll see. What a sudden change in emotion. I'm Saga Okron. I'm the captain of the Kendo Club. Nice to meet you. She shook my hand over vigorously. Likewise. As I said, I'm Kato Shields. I'm the new Vice President of the Student Council. I look forward to working with you, Mr. Manager. My name has been replaced with the title already. I've got a Saga's contact info and her club times into my holo. Starting tomorrow, I'll have to work hard to fix everything. I made my way to the science lab. Oh, I really hope whoever in charge of the science club was more normal than that crazy captain. Just as that thought passed, an enormous explosion shook the floor. The science lab's steel door flew from its hinges and a fireball erupted from within. Did I just witness a fatal accident? I ran into the science lab, coughing in the thick smoke. Inside I saw an unconscious girl sprawled across the floor, and I picked her up in a panic. Hey, are you alright? Oh. She rubbed her face ruefully and somehow miraculously unhurt by the fireball. I guess I'll have to change the recipe. Is it just me if Chigara turned even more Scottish than she was last time? Oh well. I guess I'll have to change the recipe. Suddenly she noticed that I was holding it and jumped away. Ah! She looked at me fearfully. Awkward silence. The girl looked around, still in a daze. What? Welcome to the bakery club. Would you like to try one of the muffins? I thought this was the science club. I looked around. Lab beakers, check. Chemistry sets, check. Lab coats, check. Nope, there's no doubt about it. This is definitely the science club. There's no way... The girl offered a tray of muffins. They're quite good. Normally I wouldn't accept food from a complete stranger, especially one who's miraculously survived a catastrophic lab explosion, but there was something strange about these muffins. Their exquisite aroma, their fluffy form, their perfectly decorated caned fruit on top. I couldn't help but take a bite. Holy! Yeah? I had to research for days to find out how to replicate the fruit. Before I realised it, the entire muffin was gone. I resisted looking at the tray of more muffins, and I wiped the crumbs from my mouth. I'm Cato Shields from the Student Council. I heard from the president that your club forgot to submit its membership report this year. I looked around the empty lab. Clearly there was nobody else here. Are you the chairperson? She nodded her head yes. Are there any other members? She shook her head no. Is this really the bakery club? What happened to the other members? They graduated. All of them? Yes. So what's the full story? It all started in my second year. A group of seniors suddenly came to me and said they needed me for the science club no matter what. All I was interested in was the baking club, but the seniors really insisted that I join the science club instead. They even let me use the matter replicator to make pastries, as long as I helped them with some research from time to time. So I'm guessing that these seniors all graduated and now you're the only member. She nodded yes. You know, if a club doesn't have at least 5 members, it has to be disbanded. Oh, I thought so. I guess I can just use the oven at home instead. Oh, don't worry, your club's not getting disbanded. The president told me to get the club back in working order. Huh? You only need 4 more members, right? Club recruitment festival's next week. I'm sure you can recruit enough people then. Anyways, I'll be managing your club for now. Let's try our best to recruit some more members, alright? I'm Chikara Asada. It's nice to meet you, Mr. Manager. My descent into becoming a walking title continued. Oh, and be more careful from now on. We can't have any more of those explosions. Understood. I sincerely did not want any casualties under my watch. It would be bad if someone were to lose an arm or an eye from an explosion like that. I got Chigara's idea in my hollow. Looks like I've got a lot on my plate this year. There was just one more club to visit. It was getting late, and I wasn't sure if anyone from the swim club would still be here. I entered the pool. Nope, lights are out. The pool isn't even filled with water yet. Looks like the swim club wasn't here. I'll have to come back tomorrow. Just as I was about to leave, I saw someone at the top of the diving board. What the? She's about to jump off! Oh, shit! No! I ran up the diving platform, yelling my lungs out. Wait! It's the beginning of the term! Things can get better! The girl looked at me blankly, not a trace of emotion on her face. Huh? Don't be stupid, it's still too early to throw your life away. She walked away from the diving board and returned to the platform. She was ghostly pale, and showed as much emotion as a stone pillar. Seriously, what was wrong with this girl? Trying to commit suicide on the first day of school? The school has counsellors who can help you. There's no need to do something so drastic. She looked at me, tilted her head. I looked down into the pool. We were so high up that I couldn't even see the floor in the darkness. Just looking down made me dizzy. Wait a minute. Don't tell me. You were trying to dive off thinking the pool was filled with water. And you were so completely lost in your thoughts that you never noticed that the pool was empty in the first place. I rubbed my face, shocked at the revelation. Had I arrived a second later, she'd have been a pancake at the bottom of the pool. She still stared at me, completely unfazed by the fact that she narrowly escaped appearing on the morning news. Why would you do a thing like that? You know it's dangerous to use the pool without the lights on. Practice. You wouldn't happen to be the captain of the swim club, would you? She nodded her head. Oh, she really looked like another piece of work. With captains like these, no wonder these clubs have trouble. I'm Cato Shields from the Student Council. We should talk somewhere else. We got off the diving platform. As I was saying, I'm from the Student Council. You haven't got membership forms from the swim club for the past year. You wouldn't happen to have them somewhere, would you? She tilted her head. I figured as much. Look, if you're the captain of a club, you have to comply with certain rules. But don't you even know what a membership form looks like? I opened my hollow and opened one of the forms. It's one of these things. She looked at my hollow curiously. You've never even seen a hollow before. How do you not have a hollow? You needed to do schoolwork and to talk to friends and... You mean you still write down everything on pen and paper? Oh boy. Well, looking at my timer, I'm basically at the end of time for this first episode, so I will leave it there and say thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.